The telescope that saw too much 3 years ago. NASA launched a creation unlike any before. The most powerful space telescope in human history. The James Webb Space Telescope. A machine built not only to see distant stars and galaxies, but to look through the curtain of time itself, to peer so far into the ancient past that humanity might finally glimpse the birth of everything it has ever known. But even the most optimistic minds at NASA, the dreamers who dared to build such a window into the cosmos, could never have imagined what came next. Because Webb hasn't merely captured distant galaxies or newborn stars in cosmic cradles. It has shattered timelines, exposed impossible structures, and uncovered objects that should not exist. Not yet. In truth, perhaps not ever. What began as a mission of science has quietly become something far more profound, an unraveling of the universe's deepest and most guarded secrets. And it all begins with one chilling realization: the universe was never what we thought it was. When Webb turned its golden, honeycomb eye toward the farthest corners of the known cosmos, astronomers expected to see infant galaxies, chaotic, unstructured, tiny bursts of light born soon after the Big Bang. But that's not what it found. Not even close. Instead, Webb revealed fully formed galactic giants, vast, mature galaxies that looked as though they had skipped childhood entirely. Some appeared just 500 to 700 million years after the Big Bang, a mere blink in cosmic time, far too soon for gravity to sculpt something so massive, so orderly, so ancient. And yet, there they were, older, brighter, and far more evolved than logic should allow. How could they have grown so quickly? How could the cosmos build such grandeur so soon after its birth? One theory whispers of hidden supermassive black holes, their violent radiation making galaxies seem larger than they truly are. But even that doesn't fix the math. Even that doesn't make sense. Something, or someone, forged these galaxies at impossible speed, rewriting the story of creation itself. Because Webb wasn't just built to take beautiful pictures. It was engineered to decode light, to read wavelengths no other telescope could ever touch. And in doing so, it uncovered something deeply unsettling. The universe might be lying about its age, or at least about how it grew up. Measurements of the Hubble constant, which describe how fast the universe expands, refuse to agree. Webb's new data contradicts what we thought we knew, like two versions of history that simply do not align. Scientists call it cosmological tension. But that's just a polite way of saying, our entire model of reality might be wrong. If galaxies form too early, if stars seem older than the universe itself, and if cosmic patterns stretch and spin across billions of light years, then maybe we're not staring into chaos. Maybe we're staring at a pattern. As one researcher said, it's like walking through a forest and realizing every tree is growing in perfect spirals. You stop and understand, you're not in a forest anymore. You're standing inside the universe that watches back if galaxies are strange, planets are even stranger. Webb has begun to observe exoplanets with a precision never imagined, and what it's revealing is rewriting the very rulebook of worlds. Planets with one side locked in eternal sunrise, while the other burns in endless twilight. Gas giants colder than ice. And marshmallow worlds so light and fluffy they shouldn't even be able to hold themselves together. But the most haunting discoveries aren't the exotic ones. They're the intimate ones. Webb has detected water vapor within a young star's habitable zone. It has found carbon dioxide leaking from Europa's hidden ocean. It has seen auroras shimmering over a lonely brown dwarf drifting through the void without a sun. Each of these findings chips away at one of humanity's most comforting beliefs, that Earth is special. That life, or something like it, isn't quietly thriving somewhere else. We may not have found aliens. Not yet. But Webb is redrawing the boundaries of possibility, showing us how easily life could exist, and perhaps, how easily it could be watching us back. Because Webb's greatest gift isn't sight, it's awareness. The more we observe the universe, the more it feels as though the universe is observing us. Light bends around invisible mass. Gas forms spirals like fingerprints. Shockwaves ripple like echoes inside a chamber. Even magnetic fields align with uncanny precision, as though obeying an unseen order. In the Southern Ring Nebula, shells of dust appear every 8 years, perfectly timed, like the heartbeat of a dying star. Is this chaos? Or code? Some whisper about simulation theory. Others speak of cosmic architecture. Webb doesn't need to find alien ships to suggest intelligence, because what it's uncovering might be proof of something greater. A universe built to be seen. And if that's true, then the real question isn't what we're observing, it's what might be observing us. Among Webb's most astonishing discoveries are stars that simply should not exist. Ancient suns glowing with elements like iron and oxygen. Metals that require multiple generations of stellar death to form. Yet these stars appear in galaxies less than 400 million years old. That's not early, that's impossible. If these stars were born before the universe had time to forge their ingredients, then maybe time itself doesn't move in a straight line. Maybe cosmic time loops, folds, or replays, a vast echo repeating its own story. If that's true, then Webb hasn't just found new stars. It has torn open the fabric of time itself. And then comes the final mystery, dark matter, the invisible glue that holds galaxies together. Webb's data only deepens the enigma. The galaxies it observes are too structured, too perfect, too precise for their age, unless something unseen is shaping them. But that something doesn't behave like any model we know. It's as though gravity is being guided, as if some hidden intelligence is subtly maintaining a grand design. Could dark matter take forms we cannot imagine? Could it, in some strange way, be alive? Every answer Webb gives only opens another door. And behind those doors, something, or someone, seems to be waiting. At the farthest edge of its reach, light itself begins to behave strangely. Galaxies fade faster than they should. Redshifts stretch beyond logic. Time begins to twist. Some call it the cosmological horizon. Others, the observable edge. But a few daring theorists whisper another name, the rendered boundary, the point where the universe stops being real. They compare it to a video game that only renders what the player can see. If that's true, then Webb isn't just revealing the universe, it's revealing the limits of its stage. And beyond that curtain? Maybe nothing. Or maybe, the observer. Because the deeper Webb looks, the more it feels as though the cosmos was never meant to be fully seen, and maybe, just maybe, it's starting to notice that we're looking back. We built the James Webb telescope to reveal the origins of galaxies, to watch stars being born, to study the atmospheres of alien worlds. But somewhere along the way, we found something else, something we were never prepared to find. Webb didn't just capture light. It exposed cracks in our understanding. It revealed fingerprints where there should have been chaos. It showed us patterns, alignments, echoes, and perhaps, awareness. It forced us to consider that the universe we live in might not be the real one, or at least, not the only one. Because Webb doesn't just look outward, it looks beneath. Beneath the dust, beneath the distance, beneath the comforting illusion that we understand reality. And what it's beginning to uncover isn't just a deeper universe, it's a stranger one. One that may have been watching us long before we ever learned how to watch back. Maybe the stars were never silent. Maybe they were waiting. Waiting for us to build a telescope powerful enough to finally hear their question. Not where are we, but are you ready to see what's really out there? Because the James Webb Space Telescope has only just begun,